Hello, everyone. My name is Tara, and today I'm going to be giving you some information about water. You might think why we're going to be talking about water, what makes water so important, and to dedicate an entire video to. But here's the point. When we go grocery shopping, we pay attention to everything but our water. For example, when we go and we pick up our produce, our meat, we pay a lot of attention to whether these are fresh or not. But when it comes to water, we just pick up a packet of plastic bottles and put it in our cart. But even though we do that, water is actually very, very important because our bodies are made out of 70 to 75% water. So the difference between waters and how healthy a water is can actually have a tremendous effect on our health and on our body. But what properties does a healthy water have? All of us know that water has to have no taste, smell, or color. But are those enough for water to be considered healthy? No, those are necessary, but they're not enough. There are three properties in addition to these that water has to have in order for it to be considered healthy. For example, a healthy water has to be microclustering. But what does that mean? Microclustering means that a healthy water has to have small molecule clusters. Normally, water has 10 to 15 molecules per cluster, but a healthy water has to have 2 to 3 molecules per cluster so that these clusters are small enough for them to get absorbed in our cells. Maybe you drink a ton of water, but it doesn't matter how much water you drink if it's not going to get absorbed. Today, I'm going to show you this property with an experiment, and we're going to compare two different waters and use a tea bag to see whether these waters are microclustering or not. So, in this experiment, we're going to test how big or how small water molecule clusters are in two different types of water. So here we have regular bottled water, and here we have a water ionizer named Kangen water machine here, which I'm going to get the pH 9.5 water from and see which one has a smaller water molecule cluster. And we're going to do this experiment with a tea bag, a green tea bag, and this green tea bag represents our body cells because if the water molecule clusters are small enough that they can get through the tea bag and through the tea and bring out the color, it means that the clusters are small enough to go through the tea molecules and bring out the color and the flavor as well. But if they don't bring any color out, that means that the molecule clusters are very big and they can't get through the tea and bring that color out. So first, I'm going to test our bottled water, and these are both room temperature, so you might think it's even harder to do it in room temperature. We're going to test and see whether it brings any color out. So this is our bottled water, and now we're going to test it with Kangen water. You can see it brought out way more color than the bottled water. Maybe you think that it was already wet and that's the reason why it brought out the color. Now I'm going to test it one more time with the bottled water and see if it brings out any color. As you can see, it brought almost to nothing out, and that's because the molecule clusters are too big to get through to the tea molecules and bring out the color and the flavor of the tea. Maybe you thought that the color was out, so I'm going to test it one more time with Kangen water and see if it brings out any color. And as you can see, it brought out the color again. It's not because of I don't know, chemicals that they put in the water. It's not because of that. It's because the water molecule clusters in Kangen water are really small and they can move through spaces very easily and get absorbed very easily to our body cells as well. And that's what causes full absorption, which is for our health benefit.
Water shouldn't oxidize our body, but what does that mean? When our bodies come in contact with oxidation, it means that it's damaging our cells and making us age faster. Oxidation means aging. On the other hand, antioxidants help us slow down this aging process and help us preserve health and well-being. Now, how do we measure oxidation? We measure oxidation with the device called an ORP meter, and you can purchase these anywhere, and measure your own water's ORP levels. A healthy water has to not oxidize our body. Even if it doesn't have any antioxidants, it needs to not be oxidizing to our body. In this experiment, we're going to show for you how oxidizing or how antioxidizing any liquid can be.
So the reason why our bodies oxidize every day is because of the foods and the drinks that we consume every day. These things, they create these elements called free radicals within our body. And these free radicals have a positive charge and they lack in electrons. So they try to steal these electrons from our body cells, and that's what makes our cells age and die, and therefore it causes illnesses and faster aging. On the other hand, antioxidants, they have a negative charge and they have extra electrons. So when we consume antioxidants, they come and they give these extra electrons to these free radicals and they neutralize them, which causes them not to harm our body cells any further. So today we have some popular drinks and sodas and water bottles that you can find in any grocery stores nowadays. And we're going to test and see how oxidizing or how antioxidizing they are compared to our Kangen water. So I'm going to get the pH 9.5 Kangen water from our machine right over here.
Kangen water 9.5.
So basically oxidation and antioxidation chart goes from positive to negative. The more positive this number is, which they call it the ORP. ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential, and it's how we measure how oxidizing or how antioxidizing any liquid can be. And the more positive this ORP is, it means that it's oxidizing and it's aging our body. And the more negative this number is, it means that it has antioxidants and it helps neutralize those free radicals as well as slow down that aging process. So as I said before, we have the ORP meter right over here, and we're going to open these drinks up. So here I have Sprite, which is a very popular drink that people drink nowadays. And now I have Piers right over here. And this is bubbled water, which is also pretty popular. This is just regular bottled water. And we're going to put it here. And here we have Smart Water, which is another type of our bottled waters. And finally, we have our Kangen water, which we're going to put in this cup now. So I'm going to turn on our ORP meter, and we're going to test these drinks one by one, and we're going to put the ORP meter right in there and read what number it says. So firstly, we have 230, almost positive 230, it's staying there. So you can see it's positive, so it's oxidizing our bodies. When we drink this, it's very harmful, and it's aging our body, so it's oxidizing. Now next we have Piers. Let's see what number this shows. As you can see, it's still positive 200. It's positive 220. It's a bit less than the other one, but it's still positive and it's still oxidizing our body. Now we have normal bottled water, and as you can see, it came down a bit. It's still positive though. It's still near positive 200. It's 180 right now, and it looks like it's staying there. So as you can see, it's still positive and still oxidizing our body. Now Smart Water is no different. Actually, it's worse than the bottled water. So you can see it's at 250 and it's going up. So it's still positive and oxidizing to our body. It's almost a negative, a positive 300. So now we're going to test our Kangen water and see how this one goes. So as you can see, it's coming down.
soon it's gonna hit negative, so it's almost at 100, and it went lower than 100. It's gonna hit negative, and when it hits negative, it means that it has a lot of antioxidants that it can offer to our body to neutralize those free radicals. As you can see, it hit negative. The negative sign is right over here, and we have negative 40 right now, and it's going up. The range of antioxidants in Kangen water, it ranges from negative 400 to negative 800, depending on how many plates there are in the machine, and also how much voltage of electricity is connected to it. But any type of water that you consume, it has to be at least not oxidizing to your body. And as you can see, all of these drinks were oxidizing anyone's body. If you keep drinking these, it will just make you age faster.
Healthy water has to not be acidic, but unfortunately, because of the foods that we have in our diet, such as red and white meat, bread, sugar, dairy, eggs, and most importantly, sodas, our bodies are going to be acidic every day, along with other things such as stress and pollution, which contribute to our body's acidity as well. If the water that we drink is also acidic, then there's going to be a lot of pressure on our liver and our kidneys to balance our body's pH levels. Along with that, the body takes away minerals from our bones and puts it inside of the blood to bring down this acidity in our blood. And this causes a lot of harm to our bones along the way. Now, how do we figure out whether our water is acidic or not? This can be figured out by a liquid droplet called the pH indicator, and this is also used to figure out the pH within pools as well. And you can purchase this anywhere, and you can use it on your own water to see what the pH of the water is. Now, I'm going to show you guys with an experiment how this works and how different pHs look like. So here we have a number of popular sodas that people drink daily, and we're going to test their alkalinity levels, so their pH levels. And we have Kangen water machine right over here, which I'm going to get the pH 9.5 water from.
Water 9.5.
Okay, so here I have our pH indicator right over here, and so the pH balance, it goes from 1 through 14, 1 being super acidic and 14 being super alkaline or basic, and 7 is neutral. And when you use the pH indicator, it will change the color of the drinks based on what their pHs are. And red is acidic, so it's the word pH 1, and 14 is basic, which is the word purple, and around greenish blue is around neutral. And so we're going to test each of these drinks and see what color they turn out to be. So first we have Sprite. Now we have Piers. Now this one is regular bottled water. This one is Smart Water. And finally, we have our Kangen water. Okay. So I'm going to put this pH indicator in our drinks and see what color they turn out to be. So, as you can see, these drinks are very acidic, as well as these ones. These ones are less acidic compared to these, but they're still acidic. So that not only they are not helping you keep your pH balance neutral, but they're also bringing it toward acidity. And as you can see, Kangen water here is very alkaline, and it helps your body, it helps bring back your body's pH level back to 7.4, which is the normal and healthy pH level for your body. And as soon as you start drinking Kangen water,
if you were previously drinking normal bottled water or filtered water, it brings your pH back to normal. As you can see, it very easily turns it blue. But with these drinks, it takes way more to bring it back. So for example, this one, as I put it in, it blinks, but it doesn't change to blue instantly like those two did. This means that like it takes about 16 glasses of Kangen water to neutralize just one of these. So you can see how unhealthy these type of sodas can be for your body. And this one's even worse. This one doesn't even blink as I put it in here. It just stays orange. And this one takes 32 glasses of Kangen water to neutralize one of these. So these drinks, sodas, they bring your body's acidity level way down, and it's not good. It's not healthy for anyone in the long term. And let me show you this. As soon as you put a little bit of this in any other drink, even if your bodies were alkaline, it brings down that alkalinity. So it's very damaging to the body. So that's why we should stay away from these type of drinks, and we should drink water that is actually alkaline, and it benefits our health in a positive way. Now, after watching all of these experiments, I'm sure you guys know what properties a healthy water has to have. These properties also existed within a number of natural water springs around the world, which were known to produce miracle water. And in 1950s, a group of Japanese researchers decided to build machines that mimicked the function of these water springs and created those three properties within any drinking water. For more information, be sure to attend our Zoom call meetings on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. California time, and we will be sure to put any information at your disposal. Thank you so much for listening.